There's a problem with the modern web that's so huge we hardly even notice it's there. We can't share good user interface solutions with each other. If we could just solve that problem, we would dramatically accelerate the rate at which we create web applications today. Our users have high expectations. They want fast, usable, visually rich, interactive web experiences that work on a variety of devices. We want to give them those experiences in a web application so that we can get maximum distribution for our work. The problem with building an interactive application in the browser is that the browser just wasn't designed for building interactive applications. The first web browser was originally designed for sharing static documents online, so it's not surprising that of the 100 or so standard elements in HTML, the vast majority deal with presenting static information, like the sort of information you'd find in an academic document. But if you're designing an interactive app, all you've really got to work with are links, push buttons, radio buttons, checkboxes, drop-down list boxes, and a few flavors of text box. For everything else, you have to make it all yourself with JavaScript. The collection of elements in the HTML language itself is evolving at a snail's pace. It's fallen far behind the state of the art in web application design, and it's never really going to catch up. We have to solve these UI design problems ourselves. What makes that much harder is that we can't easily share and reuse interesting UI elements today. If I spot an elegant UI innovation on your site and want to use it on my site, it's really hard for you to make that innovation available to me in a truly reusable form. Now, despite these challenges, the web has still managed to evolve an incredibly rich set of common UI patterns. If you step back and look at a modern website, it will make use of a wide variety of common UI patterns for navigational elements like navigation bars, page organization models like pages with dots beneath them that users can slide between, identity tools like a module for signing in, communicating with other people through things like comment threads, and so on. A typical web application might be nearly all done in common UI patterns, and that's a good thing. Even a really innovative app might rely on common patterns for something like half its UI, and that's another way of saying that at least half your work is reinventing wheels that have been invented many, many times over. Here's a simple example. Lots of sites have menu bars, inspired by the menu bars in client operating systems like OS X and Windows. Those two operating systems both implement a nearly identical behavior called menu riffing. When you click and release your mouse on a menu to open it, you can slide your mouse to the side and, without having to click again, automatically pop up the next menu. That's called riffing through the menus. The menu bars on the average website don't do that. Maybe the designer of those menus didn't think of it, maybe the developer decided that behavior was too much trouble, or maybe they decided to cheat by having menus always open automatically on mouse over, which can be a disaster, but that's a whole different story. The point is, menu riffing makes a big difference in menu usability, but because we all have to implement menu bars on our own, the web ends up with all these less than perfect menu bars. Some people talk a lot about sharing UI patterns, which is okay, but it'd be way better if we could share UI solutions. Re-implementing common UI patterns like menu bars exacts a huge cost on our time. All the time we spend reinventing the wheel, that's time we're not focusing on the unique value of our own products. As a result of this problem, there's no real UI ecosystem on the web. In a vibrant UI ecosystem, you could come up with a UI innovation and decide to share it with the world in a way that lets everyone pick it up and adopt it in their sites. This creates synergy, and when you and I share, we get network effects. The more people involved in the ecosystem, the faster all of our apps get better. The linchpin here is we need a good way to package up good UI solutions so that we can share them among our teammates, among other companies, even with ourselves down the line when we tackle our next project. There's no good way to do that. But things are changing. In the next year or so, web technologies will begin to give us good ways to create UI elements in a way that we can finally share them with each other. And in the meantime, there are a number of ways we can get kind of close to that today. More on that next time.